I don't cry when it rains no more, or I get dirt on my shoes. I don't mind climbing 8 more floors, 'cause these stairs are all heading to you. I don't wait for tomorrow's sunshine when I feel it today. But when it's cold in the dead of winter, remember that snow melts away. One more cold drink, one more roll, one more dance before the doors get closed. Please remember, enjoy the show. Let's get happy before we get old. We don't need plans or a fancy agenda. Well, let's just see where it goes. We got no care for the way people stare at the dust and the dirt on our clothes. Hey, my friend, we'll never say
Hey, everybody, come on into the Cajun cooking experience tonight. Oh, Darren and Rainy Cajun are here already. Man, we got a good one tonight. We're going to cook some Cajun dressing, better known as fire. And we're going to learn where fire comes from and what, how to pronounce it, why we pronounce it the way we do. Hey, Mildred, where you at? Dale Wagger back. But something I want to show y'all before we get started. Y'all know I'm always telling y'all, get a grinder, grind your own meat. I'm going to show you why. I was forced to buy store-bought ground meat last week, and I want to show you the difference. So if you can see the red one is what we're going to use tonight. That is the ground sirloin that I actually ground up for tonight. In those packs, I was making the dirty rice, and I didn't have enough, so I had to go to the store. Look at the difference, which means there's a heavy fat content, but the other thing is you don't know what comes through as ground beef because it's coming off a cow. It could be anything. So just keep that in mind. This is why I'm always pushing this when I talk about beef. All right, Tim. Hey, Joanne from Gonzales, Louisiana in the house. Yes, indeed. So tonight we're going to get started with this. It's getting to be the holidays and fire with all the dressing. We're going to Cajun dressing. We're going to start cooking this in the Thanksgiving, Christmas time. You may stuff it in the turkey. You may just cook it on the side. I keep forgetting to not come to these hungry. Right, you're going to be hungry tonight. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off with some onions. Now, one of the things I want y'all to keep in mind, what we're doing tonight, we're using beef. We're using beef with a little bit of pork. This is the way I like my farm. But if you take and put all pork and follow everything we're doing, except maybe instead of chicken liver, you would put pork liver in it. Actually, what we'd be making is boudin. The way they make boudin today would be the same way, except it would be all pork. There would be no beef in it. And of course, I guess if you wanted to make a beef boudin, you could. And there goes the fire truck. So I'm starting off with a little avocado oil tonight. You can start off with lard if you want. I just chose the avocado oil. And so the meat I'm using, hey, Susan, from Newport, Washington. Yes, indeed, right around the corner. So one of the things is my beef that I have in here and the pork I have in here are very lean. They're not going to throw off a lot of fat. So I have a little extra oil in here to give us some fat because you want a little bit of fat in this dish. What I don't want is fat floating up to the top of my beef. Okay, hey, Jacqueline. Jackie is watching. Okay, so we're going to smother these onions down. And you know I'm going to smother these onions down so that we can get a little gravy going in here. It's going to make a difference when you cook this meat. All right, Jason. All right. We're just going to keep on working this. I got to bring this fire down a little bit. But I got some fire under this pot. These little burners roll over here. So what is this thing we call fire? Basically what it is just a mispronunciation of the word, the French word, force, meaning force meat. So think German. If they were calling it force meat, they were calling it farce, the farce, fire. They put that German in it because the Germans came over, and you know you had to come over. You had to talk French. Two things when you came to New Orleans territory. They came in 1720s. You had to talk French and you had to be Catholic. That was the two things. Well, yeah, Paul, Happy Jack. Hey, Spuddy, do you give dance? Of course I give dance lessons. So let me tell y'all a little bit about that. That was an awesome video. I had a group, these young ladies are from Germany. One of them is going to Tulane for law school. She goes to law school in Germany, but she's here for a year or a semester. It's something they do in Germany, and they come here, they come over here and they go to different law schools. She chose New Orleans. She had been in New Orleans already. Her two friends came visit. Well, I kept watching them the whole time we were cooking, and they kept dancing. They just kept, I had a little swamp pop on back there. I said, hold on. I kicked that music on, I grabbed them, I said, come on, we're going to dance. We don't know how to do this. And you know now, it was awesome. This was these people were really, really good. Turning in from Kingwood, Texas. Looking for a dressing sandwich like we served at the River Parish wedding. Boy, Randy, we're going to talk about that. Yes, Lucy, I give lessons. Yes, I do. All right. But we really had a good time, and this is what the Cajun cooking experience is about. When people come in, the first thing I tell them, the main rules, you have to have fun. If you're not looking to have fun, you're in the wrong place. You need to leave. And after that, there are no rules because it's all cooking from the heart. It's about layering these flavors and cooking from the heart, just like I do in this show. And this is what makes our cooking so unique. So yeah, I had to put that out there because while we were doing it, I just looked over and I see Elaine, she's filming it, and I'm going, yes. Lucy, just watch him at the end of the show. Oh, don't worry, Lucy knows. Swamp popping, Papa topping, you better believe it. Hey, Melissa. Joanne, you just got to do it. You got to feel the beat. And look, I always wasn't that good, but over the years, and that's not that I'm great right now, but over the years, to have a good friend of mine told me to follow the beat. Once I started doing that, it wasn't too bad. Because before, I'd have been all over the place. It was like an aerobic workout when you were dancing with me. And the more I danced, the better it got. The faster I got. Okay. To give you an idea, the last cruise we went on, second night on the cruise, I think I stayed on the dance floor an hour and 15 minutes without getting off. I paid for that. Buddy, you got 2 people watching from Washington State. I think that's a record. Yes. Man, look, we want people from all over the world to get some of this Cajun loving. This is what we're about. All right. Let's go down into the pot, Elaine. Let's see what we're looking like down here. All right. You see, our onions are starting to brown. We're starting to get a little gravy. And this is what I want. That stock going in is going to give me a little gravy. All right. Let's bring it back up. Let me kick them onions in, cook that fire up a little bit now. Just trying to get my fire straight. So now I'm going to bring in my shallots. I'm bringing in stuff that take a little time to cook. Hey, Trey. So I'm going to bring that in. And look, I'm going to bring some mushroom in. If you want to bring them in, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. That's going to be good. We're just going to keep, we got a runaway mushroom here. Would this dish be the beginning of an oyster dressing? Yes, it would. That's a good question. Yes, it would. So this is what my mom would have been making. She'd have been doing the same thing. It'd have been an oyster dressing. And I'll tell you, if you grew up in the river parishes, the German and Cajun communities along the river road, St. Charles, St. John, and St. James, I promise you, you've had this. And if you're in St. James Parish, guaranteed you had sandwiches, finger sandwiches, dressing finger sandwiches at a wedding. And we're going to make one of those tonight. Hey, Lauren. Oh, Millerton plentiful this year. I like to hear that. So we're going to be doing some of that. We're going to be stuffing that soon. Okay. Oh, you see that when you get that little sizzle and that smoke coming up, this is what it's all about. So all I want to do is just keep smothering down my. So one of the things that we do, the three ladies right here Sunday, and what they learn is right now we're just layering flavors, and what people are amazed at, we cook with the same ingredients, except one ingredient's going to be different, but we're using all the same seasonings, and everything tastes totally different. It just blows their mind. But what they realize is how we layer these flavors. This is what it's about. If you want a good dish, if you don't have time to make it right, hell, go get your hamburger, go get your chicken sandwich. But if you have time to do it right, you're just gonna enjoy it more. Plus, cooking is therapy. A lot of people don't like to chop the seasonings. I love to chop the seasonings. Man, it's just therapy. It's just that sound of that knife cutting that seasoning. And one of the things I was explaining to them, if you notice, I cut my seasonings big. If you take a knife and you cut your seasonings fine, what you're gonna notice is a lot of liquid's gonna come out. You're gonna have a lot of liquid coming out. And what that does when you get all that liquid flowing out of there, you're losing some of the flavor of those seasonings. So I like to cook them big, and it gives me more flavor in my dish. I keep more of the flavor in this pot. As far as a delicious dish, I only learned of it in my late 30s. So, you missed many opportunities, David. It is one hell of a dish. And, if you want us to take and make some of this and put it on the side, put it in the freezer, and later on, you would come in and just, cook it up or warm it up and add some rice to it, you could. You can make a dirty rice with this, but you'd have to have it a little looser if you're going to make dirty rice. But a lot of people, what they do, they cook the meat down just like this, like we're doing tonight, and then they bring some rice in and they'll mix it up and they'll have them a dirty rice. So this is also a way to cook dirty rice. Grobek would be an interesting addition. Oh, I'm not cooking no Grobek. We live. That's against the law. We live all over the world. They'll be knocking on my door to come get me, but it would be. Hey, Jody, there's nothing wrong with a little Grobek. Okay. Let's take a little peek in that pot. You're going to see how we're starting to make a little gravy now. Let's take a peek in that pot. All right, we're starting to build a little gravy on this now, which is going to give us all this flavor that we're looking for. Remember what I said? We got to layer the flavors. All right, let's come on back up. Hey, Roy, I can make a meal with just that. This is a meal, man. This is a meal. There's no doubt about it. And one of the things about farre, something I want to show you. Let me see if I can pull this up. Why is this? It was a family name, the Ancient Arms of Farre. So there was actually also a family name. I found all kind of history on this one word. It was just amazing what I found. We're just gonna keep on cooking this down. Now I'm gonna bring my bell peppers in. And y'all know I like all these different colors in this pot. Add a little bit more water. Okay. Whoa. And just keep on rolling. Now, I'll keep throwing stuff out the pot. Well, let me get my comments back on. Look in that corner, give me that all season. Minnie. All right, you come on over here. I know you come and get some good Cajun cooking, all that family you got down here. Y'all make sure to stop by and visit. All the way from St. Louis. Yep. We need that allspice later on. Hey, Barris. Never late. Always on time. All right. So now, we're just want to keep on cooking this. That is something that's personal to me. It's what I do. But But if I was cooking this in my back kitchen, I would be doing it in a black iron pot. What I find here when I'm cooking live is people can see better with the stainless steel pot. But one thing I got, you can cook, and this thing cooks just as good as a black iron pot, but it has a thick bottom. This is the difference. Worst part of cooking is cleaning up. That's why you got to do it as you're going, because you know we always have a habit of throwing the dishes on the side. Worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do. Okay, y'all should have everything now. Volume and screen. Yeah, I did lose it. I kicked out for a minute. Grab me a towel. Pot's moving around. I forgot to put my towel right here. Seems like YouTube comments switched off StreamYard, acting up. Oh, Lord. George said Poodoo gizzard is delicious in rice dressing. Poodoo's gizzards is actually good in anything. One of the things, but the only thing that's good in the poodoo is the gizzard. And it makes a great gumbo. All right. And man, this is just coming along. All you do is keep on smothering this. And okay. And it's building me a nice little gravy right now. So we have a good little gravy going in this pot, which is really, really good. Now, the only thing that black iron pot wouldn't be moving around this burner like this stainless steel pot does. Okay, and everybody, I should be back loud and clear now, which is a good thing. So some reason it just kicked off. I think I may have done it. What kind of liver are you putting in? Tonight, I'm putting in chicken livers. I'm using chicken livers tonight, and this is what I would always use in my farre. If I was doing boudin, I would try to find me some pork livers. Pork livers are a little strong. You got to be careful. A lot of the boudin you find on the market right now, they're not putting livers because people don't like the taste of livers. Same reason why I couldn't put livers in my dirty rice. Oh, rolling. I got plenty right now, brother. Oh, yeah, we got a good, man. We got a good, let's go in the pot. Got a really, really good color in here. Okay. And you can see a little gravy building down here. This is what I like. I like this little gravy building. So farre has an old French meaning and possibly referring to an iron or a man that's fierce, like an iron man. And he would have been somebody that occupation would have been a blacksmith or somebody that worked with iron. So this is all things that I've been finding out there on the internet about this meaning of farre. Michelle, my mouth is watering. Now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring these chicken livers in. I want to cook them down a little bit. And what I have about a pound of chicken livers. Now, I like a little liver taste. So if you don't like it strong, you have to play with this. I'm going to bring a pound of livers in. And what I do, I chop my livers. I don't grind them in unless I'm doing it like a really, really big batch. And I just want to grind a lot of meat. But for myself, I like to just go ahead and keep it whole so I don't lose a whole lot of flavor by grinding them in. Because they're going to cook down and you might have a little slither of liver in there, but that's okay. It's going to be good. And the chicken liver is a little milder, a lot milder than the pork liver. It's just going to give you that little tangy taste in it, which really makes a good dirty rice or dressing. But when I was cooking all this in business in the restaurant, I couldn't add the livers and I couldn't add the gizzards. Too many people didn't like it. And believe me, they would ask it. They wouldn't buy it. Okay, let's take a look in the pot. And you can see the livers are starting to brown in here. This is what I want. I'm gonna work these livers in a little bit, then I'm gonna bring the ground meat in. I couldn't imagine dirty rice without liver. Man, look, if I cook it for me, it's gonna have liver in it. Now, farre also had an old English meaning. It meant bull or ox. So think of like a bull-headed person. It was the name of a fierce person. It might have been somebody that worked with bulls or somebody that handled bulls. So that would have been another meaning in the old English name. I mean, this thing has meanings all over the place. Gosh, buddy, I put ground meat, gizzards, and seasoning first. Liver goes in last because it gets stronger the longer it's cooked in the black pot. Yeah, you see, I'm not in the black pot tonight. I want to make sure they're well cooked in there, and I don't mind if they get a little stronger because I like that liver taste. I mean, I'm somebody that can smother down liver, beef liver, chicken liver, it doesn't matter. I'll smother them down and I'll eat it. But if you're not fond of a liver taste, then you might want to just wait till the end to put it in. Okay, let's go ahead and look down in the pot. What I'm doing is just getting this meat chopped. Now, this meat was ground. I ground this meat today. So this is all fresh ground. It was a roast I bought. It was actually a roast, a sirloin roast that I bought. Sirloin tip roast. And another meaning they have for pho was a miller or a grain or a handler. So there'd been somebody that maybe would have handled grains because it had the meaning to sift or to separate. All right, let's bring it back up. And one of the favorite things in our community was have a loose meat sandwich, okay? Brianna, we're cooking some farre tonight, or some dressing, like Cajun dressing. Or in the French term, you made force meat. So you think about it, you're calling it farce meat, farce, F-A-R-C-E, farce meat. You think of a German coming in and they've got that hard accent, farce, far. With sweet potatoes, Brianna, if I had sweet potatoes, I'll have them in tonight. So last time I made them on the show, I did it. And what it is, if you put sweet potatoes in, this is what they would call sweet farre. And sweet potatoes do really good in here. What you do, you let them just cook really well in there, let them blend in there, and it gives it a little sweet. And I thought I had a sweet potato. I don't. But a sweet potato cooked in here works really, really well. So that's something else you can add in there. But look, this was a dish. You have to make it your way. You have to put or don't put whatever you want. Somebody just said it. I didn't like mushrooms. You don't have to put that. Look, I'll eat mushrooms almost every day. I'll grill them with my breakfast, mushrooms and bell peppers. Now, and like I said earlier, if you've ever been to a wedding in Vacherie, I promise you've eaten this and you've had it. Take 2 slices of bread and make some finger sandwiches. Guarantee you've had it. Okay, add a little hot sauce in there. Now, I had this meat lightly seasoned. So it is seasoned a little bit, so I have to wash my season and let this cook before we start adding salt and pepper. I didn't add any pepper to it. I just added a little salt to it. It's something I'm going to bring in a little bit. I'm going to bring in this allspice. You really, really have to be careful with this. It gives it this special flavor, but if you do it, you put too much in, it will overpower it. So you have to kind of play with it. I can't give you a measurement on this because it really depends how much you're cooking. We're using 4 pounds of meat tonight, but you have to be careful. But it does give it a special flavor. How long would you cook the meat if I had more than an hour? I remember Grandma put chopped pecans in hers. Hey, I like that, to chop pecans. So how long would I cook this meat? I would probably cook it at maybe another half hour after that. So what you want to do, you want to keep on cooking the meat, and then as you're cooking it and you're getting all that moisture out, you hit it with a little bit of stock, and you let the moisture, you let it reduce again, let it stick a little bit, hit it with some more stock. The more you do that, the better your flavor is going to be. Melissa, they had it, but it was probably cold and the meat would congeal, okay? And what's up, Dino? Did you ever cook with spicy peppers like jalapenos? Yes, I did. Yes, I have. I used to use jalapenos all the time, but I just got away from it. But jalapenos do really good in anything you're cooking, okay? All right. David, I may have missed you saying it, but did you mention that the name could have been variation of French adjective farce or to stuff? No, I didn't hear that. Like farce or like force meat, farce. It would have been a version of that, David. Hello, Melissa. Now that I've never seen anywhere, David. But you get into stuffing now, you have dressing and you have stuffing. And the stuffing, sometime in the 1700s, it became where it was a bad word to say. Because you say now you have this bird, you're going to stuff a turkey. Stuff that turkey. I'm going to jam it in there. I guess that's why it sounded harsh. So they got away from stuffing and they started using the word dressing. Okay? So the dressing would have been something you put on the side. Dressing sounds like real nice. I'm going to dress up my turkey. I'm going to dress up the bird. So you wouldn't call it stuffing. They got away from that. But you have some people call it stuffing. Some people call it dress. Down here, we mostly say we don't call it stuffing. We'll call it the dressing. But there's still some parts of the country, especially in the mid part of the country, they're still calling it the stuffing. And I think in Philadelphia, they have a totally different name for it. I'm trying to remember what it is. All right, Edward. All right, let's go in the pot. Okay, and you can see that meat's really getting brown. You see my little gravy right here? We're getting a really, really good gravy in here now. Let me keep this fire up, all right? My grandma from St. James also made something like it with pecans, just like Brian mentioned. This would be awesome with pecans or any kind of nuts in here. And you chop them up real fine. This would be good. I like to put like pumpkin seeds, pepitas. I put that in a lot of things that I eat because I like it. Gives it that little crunch. But chopped pecans will work really well in here. Make it a little fancy, like a fancy dressing. So you got 4 types of this meat: straight with pork and pork fat, and that would be one type. Then you have the country style, which would have a coarser texture of maybe some pork and some fat, and then you would have some livers in it. We have a combination of both of those. Boy, good fast finger sandwich at the wedding is the best. You got that right, turkey neck. All right, Keith. French bread dipping is coming soon. We have a good little gravy coming here. This is what we want. Julie said, chopped pecans is the highlight of the dish. Man, if I had some chopped pecans right now, I sure the hell throw them in there. That's for sure. Because that does sound good. Okay, let's bring it back up, Elaine. Then you got gratin force meat. It's brown. It's the brown. Some of the brown meat is mixed with some raw meat. So that's interesting. Then the other type is made of veal, poultry, fish, and shellfish. And it's got like a cream base to it. Russell, the Mississippi boy, going to have to try to make this. Russell, you can't go wrong. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. And you can see we're getting a good little gravy in here right now. This is, it's time to take a dip because this gravy is really awesome. And this is one of the things, like when we had the ladies in here Sunday, dip that French bread. She was one of making a jambalaya. And to dip that French bread in the gravy that you build, that flavor is unbelievable. Oh, man. That gravy down here is unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, caught my towel on fire. You want to keep stirring this. I want to keep it moving. Let's see, I just made a loaf of sourdough bread for Thanksgiving season. I bet that would make a nice dressing. Oh, Mike, with that sourdough bread, you better believe it. And I ate your sourdough bread. It's badass good. Could you make it with ground deer meat? Yes, Roland. Yes. It actually would make a very good farre if you had ground deer meat with a little pork mixed in it. Yes. Then I would mix my pork 50-50. Here, I have 30% pork and 70% beef. I wanted more of a beef taste. With deer meat, I would make it with deer meat more better. I would make it that before I would actually make it with beef. Lucian, my brother. What's up, my brother? We did red snapper on a half shell last night. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, I hope they pull it off too. Thinking about doing it for Thanksgiving instead of turkey, doing smothered wood ducks with a red wine. Hell yeah. Could you make a crawfish cornbread one even? Somebody just asked me that this week. If I make like a crawfish dressing. I mean a cornbread dressing. I think that's going to be a good one. Oh, Lord. Man, if y'all can smell this and taste this right now. Now, I'm getting ready to taste this because the meat's cooked already. Now, it can go further. It can go a little longer. But what I'm tasting for right now, I want to taste for seasoning. Because I need to start seasoning this right now. And I'm also going to put this allspice in it. Ooh. Another thing you could do, you're going to make this tight. You see, we've got some broken bread over here. You're going to put some broken French bread in here so you can tighten this up. Now, if you're sensitive to glutens, you may have to find some other way to do it. You may have had to make, when I had that seasoning, make a little bit roux or something in it. Just a little slight flour in the beginning. But that French bread is going to tighten it up and bring it together. And what you do is the more you cook it, the finer this is going to get. It's going to keep breaking down. And then if it keeps breaking down, this is what you need to make it a smooth dressing. Oh, don't worry, Melissa, it's coming. See it right there, huh? Now I'm going to bring my shallot tops in. I had the shallot bottoms mixed with my onions already. Now, I'm going to bring in a little touch of black pepper and a little touch of red pepper. A little dab of salt. And y'all know we got to show them. Oh, bring the camera up. We got to show the sugar cane farmer some loving. Okay. Now Melissa was asking about cooking in the black iron pot. This would definitely cook better in a black iron pot if you have one, because it'd be sticking to that pot right now. So it wouldn't make a better dressing. Oh, Lord. Now I'm going to start adding this allspice. Let's bring in that parsley that Melissa's looking for. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to bring this in a little bit at a time. Wonderful. Mama Joyce, 93 tomorrow. Tell Miss Joyce I said happy birthday. And everybody watching says happy birthday to Miss Joyce. Okay. She's a beautiful, wonderful lady. This is like a little teaspoon of it. Then I have to taste and see if I want to put some more. But I just don't want to overpower it. Ooh, it's just got a smell of its own. And I learned that when I bought this place, Miss Eileen and Mr. Peanut used to make this, and this would be the one thing they would use allspice for. I never heard of it before, but it just gave it a unique flavor. And black iron gives a tasty grimy at the bottom. You got that right, Melissa. That's absolutely right. The stainless steel does a good job. It's just a little bit too smooth, which it doesn't get that stick on it, okay? So the term dressing, we call it a dressing, didn't really appear to the 1850s before we saw that term. And like I said, then they started getting their drawers about the stuffing. Oh, we can't say that. So the Midwest and the South, they still say dressing today. And then the Northeast and the Pacific Northwest, stuffing. And then in Philadelphia, they say Philly. Now I'm going to taste this, and I'm tasting it now for that allspice, and I taste a really, really good taste of liver in here. Ooh, got a good liver taste. Ooh, and a good allspice taste. Oh, hell yeah. Mm. Y'all, I want to tell y'all some good stuff. Now, if you notice, the way we're cooking it, it's a very, very clean way of cooking. We're not bringing any canned goods in here. We're not bringing anything artificial in here. And we're using fresh ground beef, so we know what we get when we put this ground beef in here. I know what I have in here. One thing about this dish, if you're one of those people that like to get a lot of protein in a day, this is going to overload you with protein. This thing is loaded with protein. Just 3 ounces has like 20 grams of protein. I mean, it's unbelievable what beef has. Ooh. You see, and I just keep bringing a little bit of stock in so I can keep smothering it down. Now, what's some of the things you can make? If you made this, and it's not the holiday season, you just want to make some of this. Like I said, you can mix it with some rice if you want. If you had just pork in here, and then you're on the way to making a good boudin. And one thing about boudin, you have 2 ways to do it. You can cook it all the way, and then stuff it in the casing, or you can put it raw in the casing. What they would do is boil it in a pot for about a half hour, and that would actually cook in the boiling water. And one day I'm gonna bring my stuff up here. I'm gonna go cook a boudin, and I'm gonna bring my stuffer so we can stuff it in the casing. Let's see, Hollywood. Rolling beef stock or chicken stock. I have both of them in here. On Dewey's made. We're making on Dewey every weekend right now. Let's see, Julia. The allspice makes it taste like a holiday time because we made it this during the holiday. Yes, it does, Julia. Why didn't you make this? Got me thinking stuffed bell pepper. Got my idea for dinner tomorrow. This would make a fantastic stuffed bell pepper. This is one thing you could do. This, huh? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So this would make a really, really, really good bell pepper stuffing. And if I was stuffing bell peppers, you might think I'm crazy, but I actually add some shrimp to it because I love ground meat and shrimp. So you know when they made it with the sweet potatoes, this is the one that the Germans made, and they would call it like sweet bar. Now I'm gonna take some of this French bread. This is just some pieces of French bread I put on the side. Bro, that's one thing I do when I'm cooking with beef, or if I make a jambalaya, I make a gumbo, I always add beef and chicken stock. That's times when I always add beef stock along with the chicken stock. Yeah, Melissa, if I had some chopped oysters, they'd be going in right now. And the reason for that bread is just to suck up the moisture that you have in here to tighten it up. My mom used this recipe to stuff bell peppers. It was so good. Oh, hell yeah. And this makes the bell peppers a little different. Something a little different. Oh, now you see I've got it nice and tight. And that bread's just going to break up in there. What it's going to do, cut it in small pieces. It's just going to blend in. Gotta have shrimp and a stuffed bell pepper. Darren, I agree with that. But this would make a very, very good stuffed bell pepper. And look, you can put some of this. You can cook this and put some in the freezer. And later on, if you want to go ahead and warm it up, you know, bring it back. Then you would and stuff some bell peppers with it. Add some rice to it. Make your dirty rice. You can serve this over rice. You can put it on a sandwich, which we're going to do tonight. So I've got it just about as tight as I can get it now. Just cooking the rest of this moisture out. And that bread has sucked up all that seasoning in here. Now, there's one of two ways. I put the bread in here tonight. Sometimes I'll just soak it a little bit and just have it kind of damp so it'll break up quicker in here. So any way you want to do it, and I'll soak it in a little beef stock so the bread can pick up the little beef stock flavor. This is one of the things when we do our Cajun cooking experience that people really appreciate when we cook everything. Everything is farm to table. You know, they're using sausage and andouille to make gumbo and jambalayas. That's all stuff made here. And it only has salt and pepper in it. We don't put any fillers in it. We don't put any artificial things. Everything we put in it, you can pronounce. My little 5-year-old grandson could pronounce every name I put in here easily. There's no hidden names. All right. I've been waiting for this moment. Oh, hell yeah, I've been waiting for this. And I always like to take it and just stuff it down here. And while that's cooling off, I'm gonna let that cool off right there. We're gonna go ahead. I want to put this where y'all can see it. Okay. We're gonna make a little sandwich. A little dressing sandwich like they would have made it for the weddings. Now, they would have made these, now you gotta remember, you eat them at the wedding, you're eating them cold. So they hold together better. You would never, and you make that sandwich. Oh, I brought my knife in here. And I'm using my favorite bread, Ezekiel bread. It's the kind of bread they ate in the Bible. Not the best knife in the world to use. But this is what you would have had at the wedding. Right here. And this is what people go crazy over. Oh, hell yeah. This is going to be breakfast in the morning. Oh, man. And all I'm doing now is just letting it reduce, letting some more moisture cook out of it. Now I had a little pile of rice right here. If I want to serve it over rice, or if I want to mix rice in, I can. Whatever I want to do. I don't want no rice in my dressing. Ooh. Man. Oh my goodness. Don't let it give you a wedding, a funeral, and Christmas. What, Tony? I want this right now. I don't want it at my funeral. But you're right, though. Let's call it the whole. You know what's crazy, though? we're talking about this like we go, it's a holiday dish. Why we don't make this more? This is so easy. Why we don't do this more often? I made this before, but I put diced carrots in. That would work good too. What do you have to wash it down? Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Lenny Chenier? Ah. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Travis? Yeah, I make this once or twice a year. This is really dumb because I always look for something to eat. A good dish to cook, put in the freezer, put it in little plastic containers. And when you want some, just pull it out, put it in the icebox, let it defrost, and then you're good. Yeah, I forgot to take these off. And that's about it, guys. And I add the shredded sweet potato. Like I said, sweet potato, that would be your sweet farre. That's really, really good. So look, you can make finger sandwiches. You can make a po' boy. You can have it on a side with your eggs or your oatmeal or your grits. Oh. Oh. It's good to eat hot. It's good to eat cold. It's all around this. So do yourself a favor. If you don't have a grinder to grind your own meat, at least buy your roast and ask a butcher to grind the roast that you buy so that you know what you're getting. You can watch them grind it. You make sure you're getting that one. And then buy your little pork roast so they can grind that for you. And use that to make it, you're going to see a step up in the flavor of your dressing. I promise you. Eggplant is a good thing in that too. Make a casserole. There you go, Roy. You see, all these good ideas, it's everything you could do with this. A little eggplant with some farre, and you bake that in the oven, man, put a little breadcrumbs and some cheese. Oh, my goodness. Man, got a German dressing and a German beer. And last week, we did a catering job at the German, what's it called? The German beer company in St. Charles Parish on the West Bank. Beautiful place. I tasted some awesome beer. And yeah, for the people that want beer and training wheels, they do have light. It's called Narco Light. He had a special one, a dark one that he made. And if you like dark beer, go get it. It's a limited edition. He's not going to have it long. Really, really good. The guy does a good husband and wife, Zerang couple, do a great job of making beer. Little late to the party. Gotta let you know that chicken sausage was oh yeah, thank you, brother. All right, Keith. Hey, Todd, how you doing? Hey, man, a good show tonight. You got it, brother. So that's it. That's your holiday dressing. Use your imagination. You had a lot of good ideas. This is what I like. People are throwing their ideas in and giving just these great ideas to put and make it this awesome dressing. Make what you want, make it your way, but always make it with some fresh ground meat. Paul, that brewery is great. Yes, they do a good job. Big old vats in the back. And I bought the flight so we can taste them all. And my favorite one was that special one that he's making. That's the same concoction I use for my rice dressing. There you go, Tone. You are supposed to be live, but you are not moving. Kind of miss my brewing days, but not the beer body that came with it. I hear you, Jeremy. Guy does a good job. He's a chemist by trade, I believe. So he got his stuff together. He's really got a good product. If I eat too much of that, I'll have a German pants. All right, y'all. Go ahead and make y'all something. But all I'm gonna tell y'all now is good night. Love y'all. God bless y'all. We're going to see y'all next week.
Don't get me wrong, I love my life. These concrete walls, these city lights. What I'm about to say, it won't make no sense, but I gotta